Heading in towards Super Bowl week, great opportunity now to catch up with a former Catamount. That's going to be another super Catamount. Talking about John Brannon III heading in to the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals. And JB3, man, first and foremost, always great to catch up with you, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hey, man, what a journey you've been on from Cullowhee to LA with the Chargers. You had an outstanding preseason, had that pick there in one of the games that sealed a win for the Chargers, and signed there as a free agent. And you ended up in Charlotte with the Panthers for a little bit, but your journey now takes you right into Cincinnati on the practice squad. You've been on the active roster, man. I tell you what, it has been quite the journey. Tell us about what's been up with you over the last couple of months here.
It's been, like you said, it's been a journey. It's been a lot of roller coaster ups and downs, but I just keep going and keep my head up to get into where I am at now. And that's with the blessing success, what I have now, where I'm at right now, and back out here in LA, but for a bigger game.
Yeah, how about that? You know, it started in LA beginning of the season. Now you're ending your season back in LA, albeit in different colors. I mean, that's just got to be crazy, right? I mean, were you showing some of the guys around? I mean, you got to be out there a little bit to know how to navigate LA, right?
Yeah, I was more the fact that I'm just happy to be back on the other side of 50, not below 50 degrees, honestly. But yeah, sunny skies and good to be out here in the sun. Just telling other guys, hey man, you're gonna love it. Yeah,
Hey,
nobody best.
hey, that's awesome, man. Hey, I know you had a chance to come back to Cullowhee earlier this past football season, and you got to get out there on that brand new turf that the donors helped pay for, and got to have that curtain call from Catamount Nation. What was that like? How did it feel? Pretty good to be able to come back out there and be able to tip the cap to the Catamount Nation.
Felt good. Felt like home. Honestly, I already know I've been there for 4 years, so it just felt like coming back home to where it all belongs. Hey, the guys are lucky to have that field. That field's a blessing, but no, I just felt good to be home. Good to see everybody. Good to see the boys fight and play again.
Yeah, good to have you back here. Obviously, once a Catamount, always a Catamount. And speaking of which, I wanted to ask you this. We just a couple of years ago, we were sitting in a very similar situation. We were a little bit closer. We could drive down to Atlanta to catch up with the former Catamount when Keon Carlson was able to go and represent a team in the Super Bowl. And have you had a chance to catch up with Keon? Have you talked with him? His journey from obviously the Patriots to the Texans and where he's at now with the Giants. Have you had a chance to talk to him about this journey? Has he influenced you and what he has gone through to try to help you as you navigate the NFL?
Yeah, for sure. Keon's been like a little like my right hand, honestly, when it comes to all this stuff that goes on, when it comes down to the business aspects of things and just understanding things. He's called me when there's been moves made, when I went from Chargers to Panthers to nowhere to now being on Cincinnati. He's been there to congratulate me. Just always picking his mind with things going on, like what did you do to get better? Would you do this? Where did you do this? What did you do differently? But he's been a great right hand stepping stone for me and a good person to look up to coming from me. Seeing him in meetings rooms with me at Western. So he's been right there with me.
How much different is the meeting? Are the meeting rooms with the Bengals now with what you went through when you were in college? How much ramped up is it? What is it like? Being in those rooms, having done it for 4 years in college and being a great student of the game, great student in the classroom to boot. But how has that been when now you're in those meeting rooms with the professionals, the elite, the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best? What is that like for you?
It's more, you're still a student of the game. You never stop being a student of the game. That's what I always pick into the minds of the veterans, because they've seen things that I don't technically probably never seen, or I never knew you could see at a certain way. So I'm always picking brains of the vets, just hearing them out. It's really engaging. You can hear the talks of just dialogue going on. You're like, yeah, you could just tell it's professional this level. So now I'm just picking up on that and just getting used to that, the words and the acclimates to that.
What's your role in a practice squad? People don't fully understand perhaps what all goes into it. You see the guys that dress on Sunday and you think that's all there is, but there's so many guys behind the scenes, especially in the time and day and age of COVID with having to have those extra protocols. But practice squad guys, as you know, from your time being a starter, that guy across from you, getting you ready for the weekend game, that's a pretty big role. So what is your role? What do you look at with that, embracing that practice squad role that you've had up until being moved to the active roster there at the tail end of the year?
It's more just being prepared to give them the look they need to see. Yeah, defenses all are the same when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to football, but doing like certain things, giving them certain looks for the quarterback to see something, or when I'm pressed up or manned up versus like Jamar or T, just giving them the look that they need to be able to perform on Sunday, honestly. So it's just as important. So I'm just as ready as they are. And then when I'm being always as ready during the week, to where my number can call at any time. So rather stay ready than to get ready.
You talk about that, and you got one of the better quarterbacks in the entire NFL. You got a great matchup coming up in the Super Bowl. You talk about Joe Burrow. Have you had a chance to, what's it like going against him and knowing where he puts the ball? He's got such great placement, you know, and what he does with the football. But have you had a chance to get into pass deflections, or you had any interceptions on Joe Burrow? What's that like?
I haven't been able to get an interception versus Joe yet. But no, he's a leader. He's smart. You can see on Sundays that that's just I mean, that's just a product of who he is and how he plays. He's a competitor. He's a pocket passer, precision, precise, accurate thrower as well. So no, I haven't yet got to him, but in days to come, one day.
Well, as soon as that happens, I think they're probably going to jump you right into the two deep, because again, if you get a guy like that, he's been so precise and so good. But what's it been like? What was it? Where were you when you got the call that Cincinnati called you up and wanted you to come join their organization and try to progress through their system? Where were you and what were you doing, and what was that like?
I was just I think it was the week of Christmas. I think it was a Wednesday that they wanted me to come out there, or Wednesday to be ready for it. So I think I flew out there Thursday. I was just at home with my dog, just chilling. Just made breakfast after a workout, but that's about it. But I was getting ready, getting ready just getting ready just to be ready for a call at any time. Because earlier that week I had a workout with the Atlanta Falcons that didn't go my way, but then just a couple of days later I got a call from Cincinnati. So it's been great. It's been good to come back here and be part of this organization.
Oh, it's just great. And there's so many great stories that start that way. I mean, the late, great David Patton had the same type of situation, almost out of the game. Got the phone call, and we see what happened later. Got a handful of rings. And of course, we miss David very, very much, and what he meant to Catamount Nation. I know he meant to you guys as well, with your relationship on this team as well. But again, that's a great story that he had. I think this could be sitting at home making breakfast and with the dog, and all of a sudden, here you go. It starts, the career continues from there.
Exactly, man. It's just been a blessing. And then, like you said, man, we truly do miss Patton and what he's done for Catamount Nation and what he's leaded for all of us at Catamount Nation, our football players there too.
You know, I look down the rosters of both teams. I always do this. You know, you've got the big school guys, you got the P5, the group of five guys, but I always look for those FCS guys, or the guys that are D2 or whatever. And, you know, on the other side, you've got a great example, the guy that's had an outstanding career. When you talk about Cooper Kupp from Eastern Washington playing over for the Rams, the guy that you're probably trying to give those guys a little bit of looks at. They're looking to you to say, how are we going to defend? What would you do against this guy to try to get a stop? But, you know, just a handful of guys. You know, there's a Chattanooga Mock. I think Kareem Orr over with the Rams as well. So there are some small school guys, but you being one of those, one of those with you being the FCS, what does that mean to you? I mean, carrying that FCS banner from a small time school, from a smaller school like Western Carolina, what does that mean to be on this stage?
I mean, it's huge. It's truly a blessing. I'm grateful for it. And I'm soaking everything in. It's just, I think it's more of a pedestal for anybody who is an FCS to, like, you can do it too. You know what I mean? As you said, there's a lot of FCS guys that's on each roster. I think about like 4 or 5 each, honestly, or around those numbers. And that's just like, we can do it too. We play those big schools. We have opportunities versus those big schools. And I feel like just to anybody in that same situation, the FCS situation, you can do it too. You have a chance. Just keep going.
Throughout the year, obviously a lot of preparations going on heading into weekends. How much did you keep an eye on those Catamounts out of the one eye? You know, always watching what's going on here in Cullowhee, and how we finished the season this year was a tremendous way to finish this year.
I'm always watching on Saturdays. You know, our days are Sundays now, so I'm always watching on Saturdays, see what my boys are doing down there. But no, I love the way they ended the season. They ended the season hard and fighting, and that's the Catamount way. We're not going to go down without no fight. So, and I love to see it. And I love how they finished the season attacking on the offense and playing great defensively with turnovers and getting in the box a lot of times too, both sides.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that football coaches always say. They like to say there's 2 seasons. There's football season and there's spring football season. We're about to hit into spring football season. How important is the off season? I mean, you as a vet now have gone through the 4 years of college, and now you're seeing what it takes to be at the next level. What would you say if you had an opportunity to talk to some of those Catamounts about the upcoming spring ball? How important is that for the development?
Spring ball is really just setting it, as you can say, is spring ball starts when soon. So 2022. 2022 sets until spring, and then fall sets into the same year, just sets up for your whole entire year. And that's something that they should take seriously, because the games really starts to slow down when spring ball hits and you're just going against everything, going against yourself, preparing for everything else. So I think it just really starts clicking and clicking in spring ball to then let it roll over in fall.
What are some things that you learned, some lessons that you take away from Cullowhee 4 years in school and everything you had to go through there in 4 years? I mean, there's a lot of adversity that you had to fight against and work through. And what did you learn? What are some of those things that you take away?
I really took away to be patient. Not every time is going to be your time. So just wait for your time, to keep working, keep going, working with your head high, and understand that no matter how many times you get hit, how many times you're going to get up is the most important part of it. So I think, and then embracing it. I think a lot of people don't understand how much college football is just amazing, and take advantage of this college football and enjoying the guys you're around playing for each other. And I always learned that playing for my guys, my seniors, and anybody who I was with during my journey. It's just I always took something away from everybody I played with, and that just meant a lot to me and made me kept going and made me fight for the guy next to me and the guy on the other side of me.
Well, I know you're rocking those Bengal colors right now. Let's see it. Let's see the Bengal shirt, man. You
All right.
got the gear,
Man.
right? Little
Yes,
Super
sir.
Bowl gear. That's got to
Yes,
be probably one of the biggest perks. So what's going on with you guys right now? What are you up to right now? Again, out in LA, living it up, Hollywood. You've been there before, but now you're back on the big stage, man. Just tell the fans at home, what are you going through right now? What are some of the things you guys are getting ready for? Obviously, Sundays, the time you got to make it happen. But what are you guys up to right now?
Well, we just landed here today, but we just got back in the hotel. Everybody's having some downtime right now. Probably got a team meeting at like 5. But no, we're on campus of the UCLA. So this is where we'll be practicing for this week. And then just really just taking it in. It's like another game. It's just the next game. Right. So that's how it is. But we understand there's a lot of things that's outside that could be distractions. But we're just going to keep it all centered in, be ready to play on Sunday.
You're going to get an opportunity to head down to Media Day. I hear that's a circus, man. You're going to get a chance to go to that?
We'll see what happens. For sure.
Hey, I know everybody plays a part. I mean, everybody in the organization, top to bottom, we say it here. Everybody's in marketing, from the person who takes your ticket to the person who helps you park your car. Everybody has a role to play to make this machine work. And I know you've got a big role there. And I know Catamount Nation is extremely proud of what you have been able to accomplish and glad to see you progressing and having this opportunity. I know it's living out a dream. I know little John Brannon, little JB3 back in the day, want to dream of this opportunity. Now you're getting to live your dream, man. How does that make you feel that you're living your dream?
It's sometimes I'm always waking up and just like, wow, like where I'm at, I'm always amazed, man. I'm just honored. I'm just blessed and just grateful to be where I'm at today. All the hard work I have put in, and I'm going to continue to put in to get to way more and much more things. But it's just been a blessing. And it's just been, that's all I can say. It's been a blessing. It's God's gift, God's plan.
Well, I know on the other side, the Rams have another Catamount as well on their staff that works in their strength and conditioning, dietitian type stuff. So maybe you guys can hook up and share some old Cullowhee memories. They're out in LA. But hey, before we let you go, what would you like to say to Catamount Nation? You got a bunch of Catamounts are going to be pulling for Bengals this weekend because of your involvement in that game, regardless of previous affiliations. I think all the Cats are pulling for you. But what would you like to say to the Catamount Nation here?
Man, I appreciate everybody in the Catamount Nation. I love you all. And I just really do appreciate the support throughout my journey, whether when I was at the Cullowhee or when I was in LA or when I was on the Panthers. I just can appreciate everybody that's been with me through my journey. And who dat?
Hey, I hear you, man. Well, we greatly appreciate your time and go out there and help these guys get ready and hope you get to enjoy the time in LA. And like I said, you said it best, Who Dey. That's what we're going to be. I think everybody's pulling for Who Dey Nation this weekend from the Catamount Nation. John Brannon, we appreciate your time, my friend.
I appreciate you giving me the time. Thank you.